Heyo! Today we'll start off with a small rant about this thing. Now, this thing has been with me for a good part of a year, possibly even more than that. And for about at least half of that time period I've had this thing as my faithful companion. It has been completely unfaithful. Well, technically it's been faithful because it stayed with me, but it's been kind of useless because it just hasn't worked. First of all, it was small things, you know, like things would be like, oh, this is closed, report to Google and all this kind of stuff. And then it'd be the occasional pop-up from Google Play like, please buy this game, and I'd be like, no. But then it starts getting more serious when you don't get texts either till about an hour, 3 hours, or 4 days later, or not at all. You don't get phone calls, your phone rings itself, hangs up on itself, doesn't get the mobile data, doesn't connect to the Wi-Fi, so it doesn't function as a phone. I don't care if it doesn't do the fancy bits, but it doesn't even function as a phone. You're like, can you at least do something? And I'm not allowed a new one till my birthday, so I've got like a spare SIM card, so I might just get like a cheap one and use that. But technology is supposed to work nowadays. We're supposed to have got past like the buffering stage, but I think my phone's like really old and it's probably been discontinued, so like none of the uploads work anymore, which is fun. On a happier note, we're moving. I'm moving to another town. I'm not moving very far away, it's only like a couple of towns away, but yeah, that should be fun. It's a nice house. It's a lot smaller than this one. It's a bungalow. It's near a pub, which my dad will be happy about. But that brings me on to another topic, which is kind of depressing, because we're not moving till after my exams. Exams! Yay! That should be fun. I've got my first one next Friday. It's creative writing, so it's kind of really hard to study for, because your studying is basically just writing a bunch of stuff, which is kind of what I do anyway, like day to day. Like, I've got notebooks everywhere just full of useless rubbish that, yeah, like, I've got I've got about 3 in there, and then I've got one in my study, and then I've got one over there. So yeah, I have quite a few just full of random-ish, I guess. So that one's pretty fine. It's 2 hours long, which isn't too bad, but then I've got my A2 one, which is 3 hours long. But then you have to write a commentary for that one, and you're expected to like rewrite it like 3 times. So it's not too bad. But yeah, exams. I suppose I'm not looking forward to my English one because it's a closed book exam. Like last year we had the book in front of us so we could like search for quotes and things. Or just like flick through and just remind ourselves of what happened or whatever. So that wasn't too bad. But this year it's a closed book exam. There is no book in front of us. We have to memorise quotes which may or not be helpful for the points that we are making, and we have to somehow remember how the book or whatever, like, how it connects to different things, how it's structured, stuff like that, and you're just it's like, I've been studying this for a year, not like 5. Give me a chance. But it should be okay. It should be good. But after that, you know, I've got the prom again. I think I've been to 3 proms because I resat my first year, and then I took my first year again. But like the rest of my friends were in their last year, so I was allowed to go to their prom because I had been there for 2 years. But then I'm in A2 again, so I'm allowed to go to their prom, which is wonderful. I'm wearing a different dress this time. I think I've outworn the black netting that I've worn for the past 2, so I shall be changing that. And then, you know, it's the summer, so work for me, as in paid work. Be over at the cafe during a few hours more to get some munsies for when I go to uni. Oh god, I'm going to uni in like, on a sec, June, July, August, September, 4 months. I'm going, this person here, this small child, is going to university in 4 months. Like, what? Pray for me. I need your prayers. Any god will do, just as long as they help. But yeah. So, life is moving forwards. Exams are happening. And for anyone who has got exams soon, or is having them right now, good luck. I wish you the best. Don't overstudy. Like, you know what you know. You just have to refresh it occasionally. It's like, the page is still there. The information is on it. Just, you get the occasional blip now and then, you just refresh the page. You know. So, there's a good metaphor. Your brain is a web page. If there becomes a blip or you can't see the picture, just refresh it and you're good. But don't panic, because there's so many people in my class that have stacks and stacks of notes and they're still like, I know nothing, and it's like, your brain isn't the size of a room, you're not going to know everything. So yeah, don't panic, don't stress, be safe. Ciao.